Today, I want to tell you the history of a legend, one of the richest man that ever lived. Before Elon Musk, this man has been regarded as the richest man in the history of the world. His name is John Davidson Rockefeller. John D. Rockefeller was born in 1839 in a farmland in Richford in New York City, United States of America. His father was a farmer and a businessman, but John grew up to always assist his mother on the farmland. His mother was the first person to have trained John D. Rockefeller on how to farm and how to do business. As a youth, he had a keen interest in music, art, and mathematics. And he already knew that he is going to be a successful businessman. After his high school education, he ventured into learning bookkeeping. At the end of the day, he earned a job for himself. With a man, he became a bookkeeper in a particular company. At the age of 20, John D. Rockefeller already had a business of his own. He established an oil business for himself. This was a time they used to they use whales oil generated from whales to lamp light at night in the United States of America. What you do at your 20s matters a lot. This man that later became the richest man in history has started a business of his own at the age of 20. Think about that. In fact, the first year they established the oil business with his friend, Maurice Clark, the business grew. The business became successful. In fact, whales now become so expensive and scarce, and they need to diversify the business. They venture into the selling of kerosene. Now you know, kerosene is being refined from crude oil. They need to establish a refinery. Eventually, John D. Rockefeller established a refinery. He established a refinery. At the end of the day, when the business continued to grow, he need to become the largest shareholder of the company. He paid off Clark, his friends. He paid him about $72,000 then. That you can go your way, you can go and establish your own. Let me be the owner of this. And he named the company Rockefeller and Andrews. Eventually, as the business continued to grow, he became a prominent member of the business class in the United States of America. In fact, apart from John D. Rockefeller, a person like Andrew Carnegie and J.P. Morgan, they are part of the builders of the modern day America. As far back as the 19th century, these are the business class people. These are the billionaires of those days. As the refinery of John D. Rockefeller continued to grow, he need to establish another business. He established Standard Oil. Standard Oil now become prominent. He ventured into oil refinery, all other forms of refinery, petrol refinery. They also do iron. He has an iron industry and many more. So John D. Rockefeller continued to grow fast in all the states of the United States of America. In fact, he established a standard trust company that managed the entire businesses that John D. Rockefeller has. The Standard Oil Trust that he established in 1882 eventually became the largest company in the whole world with over $70 million worth. The question I want to ask is that, is Rockefeller the richest man ever? I think this is true. He is the richest man ever. Until the year 2020, when Elon Musk overshadowed him to become the first trillionaire in the world. But do you know that Rockefeller was the first billionaire in the world? As far back as 1916, rather, Rockefeller was the first billionaire in dollars. In fact, the present worth of Rockefeller, if you compare the worth of Rockefeller in the 19th century to the present day currency, Rockefeller worth over $450 billion. This is a controversy. How much is the net worth of Bill Gates? Bill Gates has nothing less than $150 billion. How much is the net worth of Dangote? Dangote over like $60 to $55 billion. Look at Rockefeller, over $450 billion. That is wealth. That is wealth. In fact, during the 19th century, his net worth is equivalent. The 19th and the 20th century, during the 19th and 20th century, his net worth is equivalent to about 1.5% of United States GDP. That's Rockefeller for you. Another question I would like to ask is that, can we compare the wealth of Rockefeller with that of Mansa and Kamusa? If you check my previous video, I did a lecture on the lifestyle of Mansa and Kamusa, that he is the richest man ever lived. In fact, historians were even comparing the wealth of Mansa and Kamusa to that of King Solomon in the Bible. Can you compare the lifestyle of Mansa and Kamusa to John D. Rockefeller? And John D. Rockefeller, apart from being wealthy, is one of the greatest philanthropists ever lived. He had the biggest and the largest philanthropic organization in the world. In fact, John D. Rockefeller was the financier behind the establishment of the University of Chicago. It was after he donated about $35 million to the University of Chicago. The former Baptist College became one of the most reputable universities of Chicago in the world. Let me shock you. Rockefeller did the biggest giveaway in history. He did give away with over $550 million US. He did give away with over $550 million US. That is the biggest philanthropist ever. Are you getting it now? That is the biggest philanthropist ever. Rockefeller did the biggest charity in his lifetime, over $550 million US. But if you have an objection to that, let me know on the comment section. Are you getting it now? Rockefeller eventually died in May 23, 1937, at the age of 97. He died of a disease called arteriosclerosis. That is a situation when the arteries stop pumping blood out of the heart. Rockefeller died and his legacy continued to live. He's the richest man in the history of the world and the biggest philanthropist ever lived. Thank you. God bless. And you know that Rockefeller neither smoke nor drink. He maintained a healthy lifestyle. And my advice to the youth is that whatsoever you do in your 20s matters a lot. The billionaires that we are cherishing nowadays, they started moving money as early as 20s. They started moving money as early as 20s. What you do with your 20s matters a lot. Thank you.